Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Heartsong Oracle with Mary Wade. Today is Thursday, June 28th, 2023. I almost said September. I'm not sure where that came from. Today's astrological forecast is going to be mainly felt in the emotional body. We have the moon making different challenging aspects through the day to various planets. So we've got the first square happening with Venus in Leo. So the moon is currently in Scorpio. That means there's going to be an intensity to the day in our emotional body, that we're going to be transmuting and transforming our emotional nature. Or we will be entering into experiences with others that could be catalyzing this transformation. And our first square is to Venus in Leo. Leo wants to shine her light, and Venus, it could be with other women even. So it could be that there's a square there. Maybe you've been working to shine your light, and there's something in the emotional body that needs to be released. So it could be that this needs to be released in order for you to start magnetizing opportunities to you better and in more alignment. The next aspect is going to be a little bit later in the evening, and it's going to be the moon in Scorpio opposing Uranus in Taurus. This means that there could be some really very interesting and just off the chain type of interactions with people, or if it's internally, it could be that your emotions are really just a little strange. But fortunately, we will be having our last aspect, our last square of the day, when most of us are in bed, where the moon in Scorpio will be squaring Mars in Leo, and so that could actually bring about some hostilities between people. So you can see how in each of these aspects we could have a possibility of a tough day, especially in the evening hours. So just be mindful of that. Make sure whenever an emotion comes up that you give it a moment to be expressed, to be felt fully. Give it a chance to breathe and see if it's something that is overly amplified, or if it's something that's really in line, and if you want to make a change based on that emotion, or if it's more along the lines of, it's just something coming up from perhaps an old wound that needs some healing. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and get into our reading. I did go ahead and pull one from the Star Codes Astro Oracle. And no surprise here, the planet that we got for this card is going to be Pluto, which indicates a rebirth. So to me, this is I almost wanted to use the word test, but that's not what it is. The evening hours of this day will be heavily influenced by Pluto because Scorpio is Pluto's ruler. Pluto rules transmutation, transformation, rebirth, regeneration. So if you've been doing the work, it could be that these squares show you just how much you've grown, or they could show you where you need to work on things. But either way, it brings about perhaps this heavy energy in the emotional body that's a little hard to shake. So if I were you, I would do things that bring some air into the situation, some air or some moving water. So if you can go out to the lake, that will certainly help that Scorpio energy move a little more freely. I would say, even creative expression. We're having these squares to Leo. It could be that, you need to do some emotional art. I'm seeing someone just throw paint on a canvas. Maybe it's not something that you keep, but it's something that helps to move the emotional body. That really feels important there. Things that would move the emotional body and keep stagnation from happening. Because if stagnation happens in this case, it could become quite volatile. If there's been some things hanging out in your emotional body that you haven't been letting out, that you've not been allowing to be expressed, it could be that they could pop out. All right, what do the listeners need to know about this day from the higher soul self? Okay, so the card that we got is on the right path. So even if this day is challenging, understand that everything that's happening in your reality is happening for you. And that's something that we really need to remember as we're experiencing tough situations. You know, especially whenever it comes to emotions, because we are the master of our emotions. That's what we come into this plane to do, is to become that master. So understand whenever these challenges come up for you, or if you're just getting this aha moment of how much you've transformed, understand that you're on the right path. Even if it's a negative situation, it could be that a confrontation needs to happen in order for you to create that forward momentum, to move through stagnancy. Scorpio can be prone to stagnancy. I always think, still waters, and what that can do. But to me, this is very much on the right path of anchoring in the information from your higher soul self into the body, into the emotional body, especially with the water here in the card. So I find that very interesting. I feel like it would be very good today to do things that make you feel good, especially in the early part of the day if possible, to support yourself, to have some good energy as you're coming into the evening hours. Okay. And our last card for today is a beautiful finishing card, and it is number 4. It is the owl, and it represents wisdom. And so to me, this picks up right where I left off, where we're talking about anchoring in the light from our higher soul self, the knowledge of our higher soul self, the part of ourselves that knows every lifetime that we've incarnated, every experience, everything about us. Anchoring in the knowledge, the higher knowledge, the eagle's eye view into the emotional body, into the mental body and physical body, bringing it all the way down. You're on the right path. And with that, with these experiences, you're going to come out with greater wisdom. Number 4 is also a building number. To me, it creates a very strong foundation. So it could be that in the emotional body or in our minds, we have something that really shakes our foundation, but it does so in a way that we really gain a much higher form of wisdom from the situation. I see the owl here as a messenger coming back to Athena, the goddess here, bringing in the information again from the higher soul self. It could be, getting new codes, new blueprints that are being handed down through your guides into your beingness to express through whatever it has to open up here. Because Scorpio Pluto energy can be very much like the volcano that's been bubbling and then erupts. It could be the boil that desperately needs to be lanced in order for healing to occur. And you can, of course, see in that situation how with the emotional body, if it's like that, there's something hanging out there that is stagnant, it's not moving, and it's just festering, and it's just building all this extra energy around it. Lancing that through perhaps a conflict or energy work, if you're doing that, can end up helping you to heal it and gaining much greater wisdom about why you even had that in your field to begin with, and when it started festering and going wrong, perhaps. It could also be that with your aha moment, going back to that other vein, that other thread of energy, if you're having that aha moment of how much you've grown past a situation, it could be that you're finally letting yourself go through the rebirth, knowing you're on the right path and gaining greater wisdom by seeing how much you were guided the entire time. And that knowledge can now become a part of your foundation moving forward, knowing that, there's never a wrong path taken. You're always guided. All right, guys, that is it for today. I do want to remind you guys to like this video if it helped you out. Share with others. If we get up to 50 subscribers, I can start doing live readings, and I would really love to do that with you guys on the new and full moons. So if you have any friends that you think would enjoy this channel, please forward this to them. Again, we're trying to get up to 50, and I know we've got a few to get there, so as much as you can share, I really do appreciate it. I would also say please consider making a donation through my link tree in the description below. Anything that's added here helps make the channel better. I can also get more decks for you guys to read from, which would be really fun and exciting to do as well. If you would like to book a one-on-one reading with me, I offer 3-card and 6-card readings, which are like essentially a 30-minute and 60-minute reading option. I have those listed on my website. However, to book those, you would need to email me at heartsongholistic@gmail.com, and we can get you booked in, okay? Is there anything else I want to go over here? No, I think that's it. There is so much gratitude in my heart for all of you. I'm sending big love and well wishes to you all today. Blessed be.